Is your next home purchase going to be based on your career? Maybe you want to match the area that you're moving to your resume. Or maybe you just want to know about Putnam County. Whatever the case may be, stay tuned and we'll talk about it. I'm Cody Bockheim. I'm a Northeast Florida realtor and I live in Putnam County. I enjoy knowing the ins and outs on what's going on in my area. So if you're wanting to move to Putnam County or Palatka, go ahead and reach out to me directly and we can get the conversation started. Or just follow me here on social media and YouTube, get to know the area, ask me a couple questions. Okay, so in this video today, we're going to talk about the industries in Putnam County. So I'm going to go over three that are here, that are fundamental, and I'm going to go over three that I believe are needed and can succeed here in Putnam County. So the first one I want to talk about is going to be uh, agriculture. Okay, so from the beginning of Putnam County, agriculture has been the foundation. Okay, so talking about regular row crops, okay, cabbage, potatoes, things like that. But you also have poultry. So you have the chicken and the egg. You have cattle farming as well. Citrus is huge. You have grapefruits, orange, just like all over Florida. But there is a huge presence in timber. So there's three different pines here that are harvested, collected, and then this also goes along with another industry we're going to talk about. But there's three different pines and cypress here, and historically that's always been the kind of case here. The swampy cypress area, that's what this area is. Very wet, natural, very rich soil area. So along with that are nurseries, so plants, trees, shrub. You have your sod farm, St. Augustine grass. So all this northeast Florida new construction, all these communities, every single one of these new homes has some new shrubs, a tree in the back, tree in the front, and that's just bottom tier. The larger, nicer, upper scale ones, they're gonna have multiple stuff, palm trees. you know don't look at the price of those. So nurseries here, that's a huge business in the industry of agriculture, just growing and then putting them somewhere else. And so we talked about agriculture. So the other industry that really has a footprint here is going to be manufacturing. And when you think of manufacturing in Putnam County, the first business that comes to mind should be Georgia Pacific, GP. Okay, so what I was mentioning before with the trees, so GP is a pulp, paper, and plywood mill, and they employ over 900 people here to the county. They're right in the Palatka city area, and so they've always had a strong presence here and give back to the community on the regular, which is great. But they're not the only ones when it comes to manufacturing. So there's PDM Bridge, they create bridge fabrication pieces. Veritas Steel, they do steel fabrication. St. John's Shipbuilders, they build ships at the port on the river there. There's Vulcan Materials, they're like a mining company. But there's also Saint Gobain. So they're called CertainTeed here, but Saint Gobain, it's a global company, but they create gypsum board, which is also part of the new construction. It's insulation. It's the board between the before the siding, but you don't see it. So that's huge here, and they've been here for a little while. But they also announced a $230 million expansion just 2 years ago to their facility. So that's expanding into Putnam County. So they've been here, and they're putting that much money back into the county. That should show you how confident they are in the area and what it can provide. Along with that, that's 100 more jobs. But there's also a PVC manufacturer that wants to come here, and that's 80 more jobs. And then there's also a paver company. I'm not sure the process of that, but I'm sure they pack it and ship it. But that they're also wanting to come here too. Okay, so the third one is a little bit harder to choose, but just based off the recent expansions that they've done, it was an easy third for me to pick, and that's going to be your state level education. So it's the St. John's River State College. They have a campus here in Palatka, St. Augustine on State Road 16, and they have a campus in Orange Park. So a little triangle here. And so they've recently started a housing facility here in Palatka. It wasn't there before. So $20 million in the housing. Their apartments right next to the campus. And they also announced they have a bachelor degree program. They have 5 available courses now. And starting in fall of 2025, they're going to 10. So they're doubling their courses. What was it, Aspen magazine? I'm not sure who it is, but it's Aspen. They put St. John's River State College in the top 150 community colleges within the nation. So for me, that's an easy third. They've been here for a while already, and that's really the main secondary education here in Palatka that's available. nursing, criminology. Their baseball team's great. Their volleyball team's great. So if that's something you're looking into, definitely check out their courses, and I can't imagine what else they're going to have to offer after their expansion. All right, so we just went over the 3 kind of foundational pieces of industry in Putnam County. That'd be agriculture, manufacturing, and your secondary education at the state level, St. John's River State College. Okay, so I'm going to go over now the 3 that I think are needed heavily and can succeed here in Putnam County. And the first one, that one is going to be the tech sector. So Putnam County is very rural. You can look it up. USDA map applies for everything. 0% down. So very rural area, and there's not a lot of tech here. So when you look at the opportunity between the land available and the quiet scenic area, so you can think of tech startup companies, remote working facilities, the affordability, it kind of matches. I think it goes hand in hand, but it's needed here. So you think about if a company gets in here, gets a young workforce, fosters that education, and creates more opportunities for the people that work here to expand their career opportunities just being in tech. So I think that that would be a great opportunity, especially for someone maybe wanting a quieter lifestyle, could remote work at the same time. And, some people, that's their goal. All right. So the next business or industry that I think can succeed here in Putnam, and I'm going to get some flack from this from the locals, but I believe more heavy spa, ecotourism, things like that along the riverway there. So there's a lot of great fish camps, bars, things like that are on the river, yes, but I believe a more put a facelift on it kind of spa, day spa kind of thing, glamping, that can succeed and can have way more of a presence here. And along with that actually is the CEO of Bass Pro, Johnny Morris. They just purchased over 5,500 acres and on the river in the Palatka Satsuma area. So that's just the next town over of Palatka, 15, 20 minutes away, not even one roadway. So he bought, and so if you look at their other resorts that they have, Bass Pro that is, so there's one in the Ozarks in the Missouri, like 5 golf courses. Just look it up. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And so this guy, he already has a history of taking care of the St. Johns River. He already has a smaller kind of resort area, if you will, on the river already. But he's basically bought 2 towns, and what I just mentioned, the resort, the tourism on the river. So this could be hundreds of jobs. So that was bought a couple years ago, and then right after there was a water treatment facility built for Palatka in that area that I mentioned, millions of dollars that DeSantis granted toward them. So all the writing is on the wall. Okay, so we talked about the tech sector here in Putnam County. We talked about the tourism and kind of more spa lifestyle that is possible on the river here, to bring in more tourism and money from outside of the county. And this last one is going to be about amenities and big box stores, more larger name restaurants. There's plenty of the mom and pa restaurants and stores, and they're great, especially down by the riverfront, on the St. John's Avenue. There are your local shops. That's great, and that is what gives that small town feel of Palatka. But if we are building homes and we're creating hundreds of jobs here in the county, we want more things for lifestyle of leisure and fun with the family here. For instance, we don't want people spending all of their money outside the county. Okay, you work here, you live here. Why should you leave to do all the things you want? So my point being, the more things you have available here, the more locals can spend, and it continues the success of the county. Just because it's something that not a lot of people would think about, but the taxes, that those add up. So spending money in the county is important to the county's growth. And that's why I think it's on the list of things that can be more successful here, included with the other things I mentioned before. Okay, guys, so there it is. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Tell me in the comments. What are you thinking? Is this place for you, or are you staying clear? So, reach out to me if you have any more questions. And as always, stay positive, Putnam.